I think the reality wasn't there. And I think the difference between someone like him and someone who does succeed in that industry is that passion to want to do that, the drive, wanting to be there. If we took, say, a big performer like a David Beckham, for example, a football player, he would be playing Sunday League football for free if he wasn't playing for however many millions he gets, because he truly loves the game and wants to be there. I'm not saying we all go out and do things for free and work for free because we need to make a living, but I really think the key is to identify what will save people a long time is work out our mission, whatever it may be, whatever goal we have, whatever we're embarking on, well, what do we aim to achieve? And a lot of businesses do mission statements. One of the things I get them to do is the actual full logical levels process, and I get them to relate to what they would like to do, how it tallies in with them. Is it worth them embarking on all the work and effort only to get 2 or 3 years on and say, well, I'm not so sure this is for me, or going in there half-hearted? And one of the things that's key is what's important to us about the actual goal itself. Our identity, how we fit in with that. How we feel we identify with what it is that we're aiming to do. Our values, what we value, what's important to us. Our beliefs about ourselves, our beliefs about our capabilities, our beliefs about the environment, our beliefs about what we're setting out to do. And these are key points to think about prior to getting involved in anything. And these are key points, and these can work at our strengths. And I fabricated some of this in the environment I created for work experience because I wanted to get a true reflection of what it was like. I could get them to come along on match day and they could get involved in all the hoo-ha of the game and the crowd and all the fun and games. They would not see all of that. And by seeing all of that, it differentiated the people who would go on to succeed, who I'd see years after, who were doing very well, and the ones who thought, well, okay, maybe it's not for me. And we can do that by asking ourselves and designing a set of questions. And these can work on different levels. These can help us find that sense of purpose. And I think one of the most important things, one of the things I found, people who are more positive, more upbeat, more focused, tend to have a much stronger sense of purpose, much sense of direction. They know where they are and where they're going, and it works well for them. So realigning ourselves is a key, instrumental key in success. Okay. Key point is daring to dream. You've probably heard and read more books on daring to dream than you care to think about. I'm sure we've all come across the personal development books and the motivational gurus who jump in the air, and I'm not going to get no one to do any firewalks in here or anything like that. But daring to dream is key. I think it's key to find our passion, what we actually enjoy doing. I think it's key, and we read a lot about that, and we hear a lot about finding our dream or daring to dream, and believing that anybody has got the capability to go on to do anything. If we have a dream, and everybody's at some point, whatever they do, has had some sort of vision about doing what they do at all levels, and having had the opportunity to work with people at different levels, the athletes who are up at 4 in the morning and even rowing on the River Thames, getting ready for a major tournament. And then you've got, on the other hand, I work with the offenders. Just getting them up in the morning is a huge achievement. And I look at the parallels between the two, and I think, well, how is one person one way and one the other way? What is the difference? And in the time I've been working, all these years I always wonder, okay, what is the difference between the two? Why is one person motivated to get up at 4 in the morning and just go for it, and one person just could not be bothered? There's just no motivation there. There's nothing there. And I think a lot comes down to dream. And sometimes there is a stigma attached. People say, okay, it's conditioning, it's circumstances, it's the environment, where they live, what they do. I think it's beyond that. Because I've been in the industry long enough to know that even within the same families, you've got one person who can be very successful, one person who can be very unsuccessful. There's a lot of differences. I think it's beyond that. I think individually at some point we make a decision about what we want to do. Having that dream, having that vision, and turning that dream into reality. And I think one of the ways to do that is to do something we enjoy doing, looking for things that we're passionate about. A lot of people have got passion for playing music, they're passionate about playing music, playing sports, and they manage to turn things into a living doing the things they enjoy doing. It doesn't always, when people think about turning your passion into a living, they tend to think of things at the highest level. They tend to think, an example is a client of mine He was a talented guitarist, really good guitarist. He was in the band for a long time. It didn't go the way he wanted to go. He'd been in a number of other bands. He never quite cut it. He said he got fed up doing all the touring and playing in the pubs for little or no money. And I said, okay, well, what else could you do? Playing music. What else? What other avenues could you look at? And he ended up taking up a position and setting up his own business, doing tuition as well as other things. And he really enjoys doing that. I think sometimes we've got to look beyond certain things, and success is relative. Having a dream isn't just about being the most successful person in sport, in the arts, in business. Having a dream is doing something that's in line with ourselves, that we really are enjoying, and then doing that, going out there and doing it, because success is relative. We often define success with finance and fame. Nothing could be further than the truth. Success isn't just about finance and fame. There are a lot of people who've got a lot of money who are equally, if not more, unhappy than people who've got nothing at all. A lot of people are very famous that are equally unhappy, who do all sorts of silly things to themselves. And the thing is that I think success is relative to each individual. Having that dream, and success is about finding your purpose and enjoying it and making a difference in the way you enjoy doing, making a little bit of a difference and having that strong sense of purpose. So daring to dream is an important thing, and that can be the difference that makes the difference in succeeding. A lot of the performers I work with, the key is they have a dream, they know where they're going, they have a vision. And it's quite ironic, there are times when I'll be looking and watching some of the players I work with at an early age on TV doing really well, and the next thing I'll hear when they're doing very well is a group of other players saying, well, I used to be better than such and such when I was their age. What do you used to be? And that's the problem. And one of the things is that not only that they dream, they also have the courage and determination to implement their dream, to get out there and go for it as well. They didn't just walk, they didn't just talk the talk, they walked it as well, exactly. And they got and they went out there and went for it. So it's one thing dreaming, and there's another thing implementing the strategy. Okay, one of the key areas is self-talk. Now, the most important person we'll ever communicate to is ourselves. Does that sound great? To ourselves. Okay, am I the only one who talks to themselves? I have these weird and wonderful conversations. Okay, and we're often our own biggest critic. That's key to understand. Nobody will criticise us any more than we criticise ourselves. And if you think in the course of the day what we criticise ourselves for, it's absurd. Whenever I'm working with people and we work on self-talk, one of the things I ask them, would you communicate the same way in your profession? Would you communicate people the same way that you loved and cared for? It worries me sometimes when people say they would do. There's some of the things they say to themselves, degrading themselves, calling themselves sort of names that aren't going to do them any good going forward. They're going to destroy the level of confidence they have. So self-talk is a big thing for us. And the communication we have in our mind, depending on what research you read or statistic, that we can have up to about 10,000 or thousands of different words that go through our mind in the course of a day. And sometimes a lot of them words, they're not self-destructive. They could be, okay, I've got to stop and get a pint of milk on my way home. I've got to, what am I going to make for tea, or what I'm going to watch this evening, what am I going to do here. So it's not very self-destructive. So when we do something and attempt something, that we put ourselves down and don't give ourselves a chance to criticise ourselves. So we've got a presentation to make. It's okay, I'm never going to do that. Or you're pondering about asking someone out on a date, well, I don't think I can do that. And these don'ts and can'ts and not able, and these little things that go through our mind are very self-destructive. In the sports world, the criticism becomes more apparent because you're preparing a team to go out there and play, and you're preparing a team to go out there and play in front of thousands of people. They're being watched on TV, and a lot of what goes on in their dialogue becomes apparent during the week, and sometimes you can see what is going on in their mind, just the way they're reacting and carrying themselves physiologically. And one of the keys is, and an example I'll use, where self-talk is